What is up, everybody? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. To my right, I got my white brother Jack. Below me, I got my light skinned brother Rich. I'm Chris St. Victor, and we are here to talk about comic books, movies, TV, video games, anime, toys, and everything else that's adjacent to our genre.
Man, I love it when Chris hosts.
Oh man, it's been a few weeks. I've been out in the streets. I've been traveling, but I'm back and I've missed you guys. I hope all's doing well. And what's up? How's your week? How's your week been? How's your life been? What's going on? Let's catch up.
Well, life has been lifing, and you know how that goes. Nothing really crazy. Besides my boss training me to do more things and not giving me more money.
There you
Nah,
go.
Either way,
nice.
um, I finished the foundation, which is on Apple Plus.
Okay.
It's all right. It's not bad. It's get that nice little fantasy world kingdom or no empire type thing. Um, I started the dark. It's also on it's also on Apple Plus, and it is that the acting is a little at times, but the concept and the story, I'm feeling it.
All
It's
right.
about I don't know what they call it. I think it's Schrader's box or something box where you got a box. You put a cat in the box, and like
Oh,
is the cat alive?
Schrodinger's box
There it is. You're smarter than me, Jack.
or Schrodinger's cat or whatever it is. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like is the cat alive? Is the cat dead? Whatever, right? So this
and
professor,
the theory is that the cat is both alive and dead at the same time until it can be witnessed otherwise. It's both
right?
Interesting.
So
science.
the concept is this dude made a box and he was like within this box with energy and frequencies and so on and so forth, he can project or no, his theory is he can project himself to another dimension or another universe, right? And I mean, it's episodic, so it's not really I'm not going to spoil anything, but pretty much his alternate self, someone who was able to use the technology, who figured it out, knocked him out, put him in his dimension, and now took over his life in the original guy's dimension that we've been following.
Ah.
So it's pretty dope. We're on episode 3 now, I believe, 2 or 3, and the third. And we just come to find out that not only can you go into different dimensions or different universes, but once you're in the box and everything happens, there is like a long corridor and there's multiple doors to go through. So almost like an infinite amount of doors to go through. So now it's like dude is trying to get back to his universe, but now he has to figure out which door he needs to go through.
Mm.
I'm just like, yo, I'm down with this. I'm down with this.
That sounds
This
pretty
thing is
dope.
dope. Other than that,
Plus,
Apple Plus, yes. Apple TV.
cat doesn't
Connie
know.
Alaska in the house. She says the cat doesn't exist.
Oh shoot.
The
Mind
cat
blown.
kind of exists. I don't know. That and also the anime, it's a great time to be watching anime right now because there's so many new stuff, so many new seasons, and it's just too much to watch. Y'all need to get up in the board. I can
Way
tell you
too
right
much
now.
to watch.
Shut up, Chris. Kaiju number 9. Y'all need to be on that. You got My Hero Academia. It's just a lot. Y'all just need to jump into anime. It is a great time. It's a great time to be alive for anime. All right, and that's been my week. That's all it
Nice.
is.
Dope.
What's
Dope.
going
What
on
about
with
you,
you?
Jack?
Yeah.
Well, I had my birthday this week, and
Oh, happy birthday! I already gave you a happy birthday, but happy birthday
you.
again, sir.
Happy
you.
birthday, Jack.
Now, I gotta be honest. It was an odd birthday this year. It's my my dad and I share a birthday. Basically, we're one day removed, so this is the first time we haven't been able to share it and connect. So it was kind of bittersweet on that regard because I have a tradition of kind of going out and trying to experience something new. I have never worked on my birthday. I've been obnoxious about just going. It's my New Year's, so I just go and do my thing.
Okay.
And so I went to Cambria, which is an awesome beach town in California. It's where the Hearst Castle is, and if you ever get a chance to check out the Hearst Castle, it's spectacular. Is the best word to describe it. It's truly spectacular. It's kind of unbelievable. And then after that, I went over to the Sequoia National Forest. ETC in the house. Happy birthday. Thanks, man.
Happy birthday.
Thanks for coming to the channel. Connie, Alaska. Thank you. Happy belated. Thank you. Lots of
Put them
birthday
all
wishes.
up. There we
Oh,
go. It's the
shoot.
last one.
Pop Johnson.
Um,
A new one.
Pop Johnson. No,
Yeah,
he's
man,
not
we'll
new
take
because you just haven't been here.
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I did that week is enjoyed my birthday and just reflected a lot, man. I've been thinking about my dad a lot. I watched Unfrosted, which is
Oh, the
I've
Pop
been
Tart
meaning to
movie?
watch that.
the
Yeah.
Pop Tart movie, and it's entertaining. It's exactly what you expected. And I started a new toy modification. You guys might recognize this guy. Some of you
Azrael.
is
Yeah.
Oh no, the
Oh no.
Dark Claw.
Dark
Yeah.
Claw.
Yeah, the amalgam.
And so I bought this. I bought this Batman because I wanted to make a Griffith action figure to go with my Guts action figure. And then I was looking at him and I was like, he's halfway to Dark Claw.
Wow.
So
Yes.
I started working on my Dark Claw today. So hopefully in another few days, this thing will actually look a little more official.
Oh, that's dope.
Pretty good start though. I'm happy with it. Also, I finally got my affirmative action John Stewart. So
Nice.
it
There
just
you
took
go.
longer for him to come to me.
Sure. Well, he color people time, Jack. he shows up when he shows up.
You said it.
Nice.
How was your week, Chris?
My week's been crazy. I was in New York, New Jersey, and I was in Denver. I went to Mile High Comics, which they claim in Denver. They claim it's the largest comic book store in the country.
Is it?
So it's huge. So
Okay.
I copped some stuff there. I'll show that in the collector's corner. And then I read Ronin the Lost Years, which was great. I've been reading Undiscovered Country. I'm reading. I read Steelworks, which Michael Dorn wrote about steel.
Man,
Weapon.
Okay.
John Henry Irons?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I read that. I started reading East Meets West, the Image title. I started that. I say I've been traveling a lot, so I've had a lot of time. So I'm trying. So my new thing is, it might be a lot of too much information, but I'm trying not to take my phone into the bathroom and read comic books instead.
You should
So
take your phone into the bathroom and look at anime instead.
Well, I do. Well, I had this long conversation with Lawrence that I shower with my phone every day, and I watch video. That's when I watch all my videos. Is in the shower in the morning.
So interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and Lawrence was like, "I can't do it. Like how?" He's like, "I'm like, no, the phone is waterproof. You can bring your phone in the shower, bro."
Do you hook it up?
No, I just hold it. in the shower.
How do you get a proper bathe on if you're holding the phone?
Well, I have shelves and stuff when I'm.
Okay.
I use the phone as a loofah.
Yeah, exactly. I have my loofah case, and that's it.
Yo, they should actually do that. No, they shouldn't do that. It's a
They
terrible
definitely
idea.
shouldn't do that.
They should. And then
Wait,
yeah, and then I got stuff.
ECC goes,
I'll
he's
save
right.
the
Michael
rest.
Dorn Worf from Star Trek the Comic.
Because he voiced Steel in Justice League, and that's why they gave him the reign to write for Steelworks.
Connie, Alaska has thoughts about you in the shower with your
Connie,
phone.
Connie, let me tell you something. If you haven't taken your phone in the shower,
Don't
change your life.
Don't
do
it.
And you know what else will change your life? Those shower chairs change your life. My wife was pregnant. We bought one.
Listen, when I was injured and I was recovering, let me tell you, the best scrubbing of my feet ever is when I was sitting in them shower chairs. All right?
Listen, you want to be?
We're talking video games, TV, comic book movies, and shower time.
All right. So, should we redeem this and move on to the joke?
Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna.
Nice setup there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I don't have a joke prepared. So you know what I like to do? I like to go to our robot overlords and see what they have to offer us. Alexa, tell me an X-Men joke.
Wolverine wasn't originally part of the X-Men, but they made him an ornery member.
An ornery member.
Oh, I remember.
Desi's father has one of those shower chairs.
And do you swear by it? I'm sure he swears by it. All right. With that said, let's make a left at the light, go run 2 stop signs,
Yeah.
and then not forget your shower hose in Home Depot, and get to the collector's corner.
It's show and tell time.
So here at the collector's corner, we show stuff from our collections, whether they're full of sentimental value in Jack's case or worth millions and millions of dollars as they are in my case, or they're unopened pops as they are in Rich's case. Gentlemen,
First of all,
what do you got?
So, all right, I gotta tell you this one. For about 2 decades, I've been looking for some video games, and they've been MIA, totally gone, right?
okay.
My mom hits me up and she says, "Hey, I found some video games in a box that was stuffed in the bottom of my closet." I said, "Wait, what? Send me a picture." She sends me a picture. I go, "Ma, have Shannon, my sister, send that up to me immediately, please, and we'll say it's my birthday present." So she sends it up. I'm not kidding. For about 20 years, I've been going, where is my Superman game? Where is that X-Men game? Where are these games? Where did they go? So sometimes when you go away for college, your parents hide stuff.
That's true.
So here are some of the games I just got.
Oh, shoot.
Hey.
I'll start with the ones I'm actually, so listen, I'm not a jerk. I talked to the rest of the family and saw who wanted stuff other than the ones that I'm definitely keeping. So I'll show you the ones I'm giving away. My little brother's really the only other person who wanted them. You guys ever play Decap Attack?
No, but I
No.
remember those Genesis cases. Damn.
Yo, man, so you play this guy called Chuck the Head, and you throw your skull at villains as you play. The game is weird, and it's spectacular. Obviously, Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah.
Got the Sonic games. I won't go through all of them. Jurassic Park.
Oh, that
Remember
game was
Jurassic Park?
Which was fun about Jurassic Park is you could either play as Grant or you could play as the Raptor.
Yeah, yeah.
Aladdin, and then the other thing he's keeping.
Don't sleep on Aladdin. Those Disney graphics were great back in the day.
They were. We got the Game Genie, which was a
Game
cheat code
Genie.
for like 100 and something games.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know where this one is. You guys ever play this? It's called Lethal Enforcer.
I played the arcade version of it.
Yo, Lethal Enforcer is probably the single best gun game ever made. And I think they banned it after a while because it was, I mean, they basically gave you, a Magnum that you were shooting at. And it was, I mean, listen, there was blood but you got, points deducted if you hit a civilian or something like that. Like you were a cop moving up the ranks. But listen, that game was fun as hell, and I have no idea where it is. Games that I'm keeping, as you guys know, I'm a huge Mega Man fan, so I had actually custom this box. This is Nintendo.
Do you still have the Super Nintendo or Genesis active in your?
I have the Genesis. I don't have the Nintendo, so I'm not playing the Nintendo games. Shikong, the Forever Man.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yo, this game is good. Like, if they made a modern telling of that and, like, re-up the graphics, it'd be a pretty fun one. This one's another role-play game. We're all into role-play games growing up. But what's fun about this one is you play as, like, 5 different characters. And they kind of had a revolutionized thing. This is Phantasy Star 4. They let you mix the different team members' magics. And so there was something like 200 various combinations you could do depending on whose magic you mix in any given battle. So that was really fun playing that one. Cyborg Justice, you played as a bunch of robots, and what was great about this game is you could literally rip the body parts off of the person you're fighting, and put them on yourself.
That's dope.
So you
No,
could rip off
I'm
their
thinking of a
arm.
different game.
You could rip off their arm. Left and right arms were different. So you could rip off either arm. You could rip off their legs, and you could rip off their torso and just swap them out for yours. Galaxy Star or Galaxy Force 2. Love this
Okay.
game. Can't wait to play that again. And then the real reasons I was like, send this box up. We're gonna wrap this up. Got 3 more. Superman. This Superman game's not that great.
None
You
of them are
play
that
the main
good.
villain's Brainiac, and it's okay. It's fun because it's a Superman game. Then there's this one, The Death and Return of Superman. And what was so great about this game is they actually let you play all of the characters. So you start out as Superman, you fight Doomsday, you both win and lose the battle simultaneously, and then you play as the other 4 Supermen. They introduce
That's
Cyborg,
cool.
Eradicator, Man of Steel, and Superboy, and then you come back at the end as Black Suit Superman and battle Eradicator. You battle Cyborg. So this game was just great, and they kind of go through the whole storyline that unfolds in the comics.
That's a lot for a Genesis game.
Yeah, and it's a side scroller. It's a side scroller, so
Right.
it's just it's exactly what you want. And then I gotta show this one. This is the X-Men '97, man. This is what's up. This is what we're
Yes.
watching right now. It's what we're talking about, and this is the battle too. I mean this one ends with you fighting Magneto up in his asteroid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my show and tell.
Very
I know
cool.
it's a little long, but
That's good. Nice. What you got? I guess Chris will go last. Let's see what I have just chilling on the corner. I showed you that one, yes. I showed you that one. I showed you this one. Yeah,
Look at you, McFarlane's.
I showed the McFarlanes, brother. I showed them. They've been showed.
yeah,
Well, you
you've
weren't
been
there.
out for a minute.
Yeah. So I got the Duke, right? Because it was a good deal. It was a good deal. And then I got the John Stewart.
Yeah,
That was
everybody
a good
got the John Stewart.
Yep.
That John Stewart was $7.
Then I
All
saw
the black figures go on sale.
Yeah, I mean, no one.
It's true. No, it's true. That's not even being a joke. It's true. I have a whole affirmative action collection over here. They're all on sale.
So while I saw those, I saw another set of McFarlanes, and there was a Build-A-Figure with it as usual. And I was like, let me start on that because I want that Build-A-Figure. But I also don't mind the characters as well because over here I like to get some like the evil good guys, right? So I'm starting to build
Nice.
this dude. So we got Batman, who has the black ring, right? The death lantern.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get this whole set right here, or maybe I might already have it. Who knows? But we got Batman. We're gonna show Batman off on the start, and he comes with the arms, and we are building my man right here. Yeah, and that's it. Boom, Batman. We gonna pop him out. I'm gonna make unboxing. Excuse me. Once I push out the other 2 unboxings that I have, and I'm starting to get all these Yeah, There's room up there. I got room in there somewhere. There's room in there somewhere. I'll shove them in there. Pause.
Ayo.
No diddy. So that's what I got. What you got, Chris?
All right, let me show you what I got. So I went to Mile High Comics. So lately we've been playing a lot of Alien versus G.I. Joes. So I copped some of the
Alien versus G.I. Joes.
Yes, that's what we've been playing in the house. So I think we talked about it before. Kenner had an Alien series that was based on a cartoon that never came out. So they had all these toys, and they actually re-released the toys recently. I saw them actively in Target, but on a bigger, like 7-inch scale versus the 5-inch scale. So this is one of the aliens that we got. It's a queen, but not the deluxe queen. So we have the deluxe flying queen with the wings that we did a video about a long time ago, and this is one of the queens. And then we got some of the 2000s GI Joes, a 2-pack. So it's a spy troop. So you get Beachhead, and Sand Viper.
How
Together.
big are these
All right.
guys?
These are regular. This is regular GI Joe scale.
It's like 4 inch.
3.75, brother.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, with that said, sometimes these weapons that they have aren't powerful enough to fight the aliens by themselves.
Here we go.
So I've been designing some prototype toys for the GI Joes to fight the aliens. So I have alien armor. So I designed this backpack.
Oh, nice.
Sick.
So
Little missiles on
this
there.
is from scratch. I didn't steal anyone's design. This is a Chris St. Victor original, and I have this armor set that goes over the thanks, etc. That goes over the guy. So it goes over the guy. So it goes over the guy's shoulders, and then the backpack locks in the armor, and then they
Okay.
can go fight the alien, and it's crush proof because the alien has a claw, and that's the theory behind it.
Is it
And then,
acid proof though?
Yeah, I was about to that. What about the acid?
well,
Eh?
then their faces get burned off.
Is it
Okay.
face hugger proof?
Ooh, what
Sure.
about them face
Why not?
huggers?
Why not? Why not? And then
Poor
I
GI Joes are going to be host for more aliens. Jeez.
and then I created this gun belt. So the guy sits in it and has a peg for his back, and then he sits it and he shoots the alien.
Is it a gun belt?
Yeah, gun backpack.
That's actually pretty great.
Right?
Does it fly too, or has he got to carry all that weight?
No, he carries that weight, but I can always put rockets on it and make it fly. But it's cool because it locks into his back peg. So that's what she
It locks into his back peg.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's been what I've been working on, what I've been doing. So I have a bunch of like prototypes that didn't work and trial and error stuff. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
Why
all right.
not?
Why not? Thank you.
Aw, how cool.
I try. So it's actually, what's funny is that I these designs, they're not the best, but they work and you can actually play with them. So they'll be available on Thingiverse for free. Actually, right now. So I've taken so much off of Thingiverse and from the community, so it's nice to have
You
something.
could almost make that a Professor X.
I could,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that hard, honestly, to make it into a full,
Yeah,
to
like
scale it up, make it into a full thing. I could. Battle chair.
All right.
All right.
battle
Awesome,
chair.
guys. Awesome. All right, let's get back to our regular format.
Yeah, this is it.
That's not
There
it.
we go.
That's
Hey.
what it is. All right. So let's move on to the news. What is going on in the comic book world? Let me tell you. There's been some doings inspiring. So first thing we have is our boy Nick Cage. Do you remember how he played Spider-Man Noir in the first Spider-Verse movie?
Yeah.
He's getting a Spider-Man Noir series, and it's gonna be live action, and
I didn't know that.
it's gonna be cagey, and
Okay.
I am all about it. So
Where did you get this news from?
This is from Superhero Hype. I only get my news from Superhero Hype because everything else is mostly just speculation. But no, this is official. So he's already signed on. It's a joint venture between MGM Plus and Amazon Prime, and it'll be
So
set
it's
in an
not,
alternative.
but it's not Marvel.
Nah, it's Sony, so they could they have they kind of have a little bit of a little bit of leeway when it comes to Spider-Man, but
Okay.
so it's gonna be set in an older in a 1930s. It's gonna be gritty noir, and it might be pretty freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. So, what do you guys think? You guys gonna be about it? Are we gonna talk about it? Is the question.
Yeah,
Probably,
we'll talk
more than
about
likely.
How would
I mean,
we
you
not
guys.
talk
I mean,
about
if we could watch Madam Web, then we can watch anything, right?
Well, we didn't talk about
Oh,
that.
let me tell you how I spaced out in the middle of that. I don't even know. I just rolled over and went to sleep. I'm like, this is just horrible. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Are we talking about? I guess the real question would be. No, there's no question. All right, cool. Yeah, let's keep it pushing. So
All right.
we'll definitely talk about that.
We gotta talk about Madam Web eventually. I mean, all right.
We
Next,
don't. We don't. No, we
we
don't.
don't have to, but we should. All right. Next was it's not another. I don't know about it. I wouldn't say a big title, but another title. The release date has set for the Agatha streaming
Connie
series.
Alaska says Madam Web wasn't bad.
No disrespect, man.
It wasn't good.
Bad wasn't. Bad is not the word. Horrible
Yeah.
is the word. All
Yeah.
right.
No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Agatha.
I mean, look, my problem with Madam Web is how can you? That's a major motion picture. How do you not even get your sound right? The sound was off.
It
There's a lot
looked bad. Like it didn't even look like it was made in 2020s. It looked like it was made in like early 2000s. Like they were like, "Hey, all that leftover equipment right there, that's what you're going to use for Madam Web." And they're like, "Okay, cool. Circa 2021. Yeah, no, we'll use that."
I think it was just an excuse to put Sydney
Corey
Sweeney.
in the house says
She-
Connie Alaska must be drunk because that movie was beyond bad.
Yeah.
I think it was just an excuse to put Sydney
And
Sweeney
the
in a
audience
schoolgirl
has
uniform.
picked sides. Where do you weigh in? Was Madam Web good,
Bro.
bad, or
They treated her horrible. She was
They did.
literally a redheaded stepchild. Like,
They did.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Oh, man.
exposition in that movie.
Yeah. All right. But what's going to be better than Madam Web, because that's pretty much everything, is the Agatha release date, September 18th. We're getting Agatha all along. It was Agatha all along. Hashtag Agatha all along on December 18th. What do you guys think about this? Are you guys going to watch this thing?
Not really. I mean,
Connie
not
Alaska
unless we're
is
going to talk about
convinced
it.
it wasn't bad. I'm sorry, I'm still on it. And Desiree hasn't seen it, so
You
should
don't have
she
to.
watch it?
No, you don't have to.
No,
just
you
get
don't
it.
have to watch it. Your life will be fine without it. But I like Catherine Hahn a lot. I think she's funny, and I'll watch it. I enjoy everything she's in.
You enjoy you enjoyed Madam Web, so yeah, you'll probably enjoy.
Whoa! I
Well,
didn't
actually,
say.
let me
Whoa!
let me not say that. Let me
Time
not say that because I don't know
out.
how
I
bad
said
it
I
is.
paid money for Madam Web. I didn't say I enjoyed it. I said I
You
paid money.
no. You and Viv co-signed on it. It was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Corey is looking forward to Agatha.
All right. Well, I got something for you, Rich. Watch
What was
it.
that?
Hey, okay, Pop. You know, Pop. If you say so, I'm in it. Rich,
What was that?
Terminator Zero
Yeah.
anime series.
Okay.
What do you think? It's set in the 1984, around the 1984 time. A release date August 29th, 2024. Are you watching it? Is what I want to know.
I'm not sure, like how anime is going to be, because sometimes anime with certain IPs don't really mix. Like I tried to watch an anime with Wolverine, it just wasn't right. It wasn't right.
Terminator anime set in the future, though.
It is.
Well, you said 84, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's Zero. So it starts before Terminator 1.
Okay.
But the irony of that is, anytime you're in time travel, time exists at all points in time. So
Correct.
It's a time travel thing.
So I believe that the
what are we watching? Sarah Connor at the restaurant serve drinks?
We might be. So I believe even though we're in the future, the present will be 1984. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So we'll be in the future of 20 whatever it is, but if they travel to the present is 84, not 2024.
Even the original Terminator had flash forward backs.
What do we tell you? I didn't write Terminator Zero. I don't know what to tell. I don't know.
I'll give it a try, but if I have to quit it, I will. Like I quit that Wolverine one. I mean, if you want to talk about how not to depict Wolverine, this dude was like statuesque, like suave, and I'm like, who is this guy? This isn't Wolverine, bro.
Who put the wait? We should show this. The Danny DeVito Wolverine in the group chat, man. That was what was up. Where's this thing?
Oh, that was Lauren. No, that was Lauren.
You made the Velma. The other, you made.
No, I didn't make. No. That was from a Facebook group.
Danny DeVito just needs to go on a
You
cycle.
made that.
Oh, you're right.
Show the other one. Show the other one that
Yeah,
Lawrence
maybe
made.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
need to have
Come on, man! I want to see that Wolverine live action
I
sometime.
do. Oh man.
I want a 5-foot, squatty, angry as hell Wolverine.
He would be Danny DeVito as Wolverine. If he was in real life, it would be horrifying. To have this little
It'll also be horrible to watch.
to
I
have
don't
this
want to
little
see
angry
Danny
man,
DeVito as Wolverine.
probably
I
a
mean,
little bit drunk.
probably pretty entertaining though.
Yeah, come at you with claws, and you can't do anything about it. That's actually pretty
Terrifying.
pretty terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying. Terrifying word.
So we have another person has been announced for the new Fantastic Four movie. Natasha Lyonne. She's her from Orange Is the New Black. I don't know if you watched Russian Doll on Netflix, but she's officially signed on to the Fantastic Four project. She's a fantastic actress, but there's been no word on what part she'll be playing yet. But
Okay.
I just like the way she talks, so she might be. She does. You know how she has a mad descriptive, like a distinct voice.
How does she talk?
I know she talks like gravelly.
Do that again?
She talks like this, like but a girl version of this.
That's pretty good how you did that, actually.
Yeah.
Why do you sound like you should have a voice box? Like, oh yeah,
I did. That is a pretty good voice box impression. Now I know I can do a voice box impression. Don't smoke. This is what happens when you smoke.
Just say no, kids.
Wow.
Oh,
This show has been fun while it lasted.
oh man.
Okay.
Jack, you say that so much it lost all its meaning already.
Oh, all right.
About the Superman 78 Metal Curtain miniseries, 1 through 5 is already out. Just one more to go. It's a continuation of the miniseries of the comics dated last year or the year before. Look, I was burned by Batman 89, so I did not jump into Superman 78. I was so excited for Batman 89, and it wasn't that good. Did you read 78, Jack?
Yeah, and 89 and the Batman. So the Superman and the Batman. They're listen, it's fun to see Christopher Reeve's likeness on the page and the characters from that movie. The storyline deviates. It definitely deviates in the Batman one a lot. Yeah. They're fun though. It was a fun read for me, and I just wanted it for my collection regardless. And the other thing that was fun is they did call outs to the famous Jim Lee covers where like Batman's on the gargoyle heads looking out and Superman's on the thing looking out. So they did those covers for the Batman 89 release. That's the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton one, Rich. And the Superman one.
Whatever.
He goes, get new material. Yeah, they're fun reads. They're not great though.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you guys remember the Hulk movie, the Edward Norton one? They had Samuel Stern that at one point when either Abomination Hulk rips out, some of the GABA stuff drips on his head, and his head starts to get big, and they never went anywhere with it. And that was like 15 years ago, and we totally forgot about it. Okay. Well,
there's Tim Blake Nelson.
Yep, very good. Well, Tim Blake Nelson teases he may return as the leader in Captain America: Brave New World. He said that he was very happy to return as Samuel Stern as a leader more than a decade after his last MCU appearance. For me, I think that's where that Hulk was Marvel's Superman, where they just dropped the ball and never did anything with it when they definitely should have.
Well, there were, I think, actor studio discrepancies that made it hard for that to exactly move forward at the time, right?
Yeah.
But yes, agreed. Did I tell you I've been to Tim Blake Nelson's house?
Nope.
What were you
Yeah,
doing
I've been
over
to his
there?
house. He lives in, well, the house of his I've been to. His wife, Lisa Benavides, was one of the acting teachers at Purchase, where I studied acting in New York.
Okay.
So they brought us up to their place for like a celebration thing, and they live on the Upper West Side in Manhattan and have a gorgeous overlooking view of the Hudson.
Nice. Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully he can pay, he gets his role and he can get more baller apartments.
I guess.
That's the hope. That's the hope, right? All right. Last piece of
Yeah,
news.
yeah. Wait. ETC says something very true. It's funny how no one likes to talk about the Eric Bana Hulk.
What? Last piece of news. Are you sitting down, Rich?
Possibly.
Jack, are you bracing yourself?
I have now.
I got some bad news. Venom: The Last Dance will be the final Venom movie.
Oh, the travesty. Oh,
With a
what
title
will
like
I do with my life?
So, yep. So coming out theaters October. Tom Hardy confirmed that this will be the final Venom movie till they eventually and absolutely reboot the universe.
Oh, hey,
Because
I got a bit of news.
wait, I need you to kind of let that Venom news soak in, Jack.
No.
We're talking about Venom here. Have some respect.
So moving right along.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Jack. What you got?
Um. Oh, scene on the set of Deadpool was who do they see on the set of Deadpool? Shoot. Oh, I just lost it. Sorry, I got it now. David Hasselhoff was seen on the set of Deadpool
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
playing
Michael Knight.
Nick Fury.
Oh yeah, he did play Nick Fury,
Oh,
didn't he?
oh,
Yeah,
he'd
yeah.
be a good. Oh, yeah, he'd be a good. He would look good as Nick Fury. As
He
the white.
played Nick Fury, so they're bringing him back as an alt Nick Fury.
Oh shoot.
Okay,
Cameos.
that makes sense. I got a little bit of news.
What you
I
got?
got like two things.
Yes, Connie.
Marvel Studio execs seemingly confirmed plans for Nova to be a Disney Plus TV series. So if you're looking forward for Nova, there it is. And also, X-Men 97, now the worst performing Marvel series on Disney Plus, worse than Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
The
I
what
read
if?
that. I didn't think that was true. They said
Wait,
that
what?
Echo outpaced Extra 97 in viewership,
That's wild.
Wait,
but it's
what?
rated so freaking high.
It's
Wait, what?
X-Men 97 is now the worst. Mind you, this is 6 days ago. Is now the worst performing Marvel series on Disney Plus, worse
It's
than
one
Miss
of the
Marvel and What If.
X-Men 97 might be the best entry Marvel. It might be the best Marvel entry since Endgame.
It
Sir,
is the best Marvel
it's
entry
not
system. It
performing
is.
well.
It is in the top 3 of best Marvel TV or cinematic content.
I
It
mean,
is that great.
it's don't get me wrong. It's not without its flaws and it's kind of kid adult content. It's an odd blend of that, but they're taking it there. I mean, the stuff they've given us this season has been just. I don't understand that. This series is so good.
So
Look,
I I
Johnny
I
Alaska
think
even
I
says
think they're basing
it's
it
so
on
good.
actual watch and people that return. But if I'm on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and it's a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You know
99% on
you
Rotten
know what might
Tomatoes.
be going on. I and I was talking to someone about it, and they actually hadn't started it until I think they're starting it this week. They were waiting for all of it to come out so they could just kind of go through it.
And that's the problem. Watch it every. Yeah, I should have been watching it every week, and then it wouldn't have been the issue of being the worst watched because people aren't
How is
jumping
it
on
the
it.
worst watch?
Because no, because like you just said, everyone's trying to do the whole streaming. Everyone has streaming brain. They want to have everything all up front, right? And they want it all right then and there, so they can just dive into it and binge it.
I'm looking to this now because I'm thinking this may be a I saw that article that you said. I saw one where they compared it that Echo actually did better than X-Men 97. But there may be a very, very specific metric that they're using that people return. How many people return after episode 4 or episode 5 to rewatch it? And if X-Men's lower than that, that's how they rate it as the lowest. So
I literally
Uh,
watched the Gambit episode probably 3 times.
yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
on Variety. Well, I'm on Cosmic News, and they got Variety. A third data viewership company reveals numbers that offer fans aren't watching a lot of X Men.
So I see.
Well,
So
there's not
another
a
thing
lot
is
to
saying
watch, you know.
is the
It's only
third most watched series in 2024 in Disney Plus with 6.8% of viewership. So I'm not sure. And
Yeah, I'm
you
looking at
know
that too
what?
right now.
It's saying Echo. It's true. Echo got 11.8%. The Bad Batch got 6.3%. Ahsoka only got 3.6%. Mandalorian season 3 got 3.3%. Loki season 2 got 3.1%. Mandalorian season 1 got 2.6%. So those metrics I think are misleading when it comes to a show's success or not. But when if you want to talk about, I mean, we're gonna get into this because we're gonna review the
Well, I'm not.
final.
I didn't say
No.
it was not successful. I'm saying that it was the worst
Yeah, no,
worst viewership.
I saw that same stat, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I
It
thought
doesn't
I
even
thought
make sense to me. I mean, if anyone's on social media, the X-Men 97 social media presence is it's everywhere.
well,
Now I'm also consuming the content, so I'm sure they're force
I
feeding
mean,
it down my throat because I'm their demographic.
episode 5 lit up the internet. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll
Mhm.
see.
ETC says it's a shame Charleston Heston's not still around. He would have been a nice Nick Fury.
It would have been a fantastic Nick Fury. It would have been.
Hmm.
All
Okay.
right. Any other news, guys?
No, that's it. That's all I
That's
got.
it.
I wanted to
You
stir the
guys
pot
ready?
in there.
You guys ready to talk? You guys ready for this debate?
Oh, let's get
Uh,
ready to let's get ready to let's get ready to rum.
yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I'm just going to put the bell on. I don't know why it's so low. Either way.
There you go. That's close enough. All right. So, in the vein of X-Men 97, Magneto was right. Flat out. Right. And he's making a choice. You either stay with Professor X or you come with him and start his war against humanity. You are an Omega 3 level mutant. But the wackest, most obnoxious Omega 3 level mutant that ever existed. Who are you and what is your power set?
Okay. Um.
But if I'm an Omega level mutant, that means I'm powerful, right?
Right.
Yo, yeah.
But you're still whack.
Whether it's whack, like whack, like explain to me how. What do you mean by whack? Whack what? How?
You're
Like
just
my people
whack.
just don't like me personally.
Everything about you is just whack. You're a whack
But
herd.
I can still destroy the world if I want
You're
to,
an
right?
Omega level 3 mutant, but you're whack.
Okay. All right.
You're
Sure.
mad whack, son. So tell me, who are you?
I mean, I find it quite bold to call someone that can destroy the world at the flip of his mind whack.
Well,
But
here we are.
sure.
Yet here
Let's
we
play
are,
with
Rich.
fire. Okay. Go on, Jack. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Just want a clarification.
No, not at all. All right, here we go. I have the ability to control all species on the planet,
Okay.
all species, and they have to fight for me in my battles, right?
Okay.
And this includes humans. The problem is and another good thing is so I can control all animals, humans. They come and they battle for me, and they come in a suit of armor with kind of weapons. The problem is, and this is the only downside,
Wait,
is
okay.
it only works on children that are 3 months old or younger,
What is happening here? What is
and
going on here?
and, and the suit of armor they come in is discarded butterfly remains. And
That's oddly
the
specific.
the only other problem with my mutant power is there's no way for the person or creature to get to me other than however they might mode of transport. So if I'm fighting in North America and I call everyone to come, anyone who's in like, Asia, they might not make it.
So you're drowning babies as
You're
you're calling.
drowning babies.
It's not intentional. That's what I can control. I can control all living things on the planet
I
that
feel like it
are
is intentional though, because you know that you
that
can
are
control these little things, these
no,
babies.
but the other thing is I can't isolate. I just
So,
control
so
everything in
what
mass.
happens when the babies show up? So say you're in the battle and a bunch of babies show up in discarded butterfly armor.
What are you just chucking babies at somebody? Like
Yeah.
people, like what are you doing right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great power, but I am omega-3
Yeah, because you control so much of
level.
the population. That's
That's
mad
right.
whack, Jack. You know this is
Yeah.
the assignment.
And I like to go by the Pied Piper.
Like R. Kelly, the Pied Piper of R&B.
Wow,
I didn't come up with
wow,
the name; it chose me.
wow. That's what R. Kelly said. Like, wow, he's
All
out
right,
here
Jack. That's mad whack. Good.
being R. Kelly and Drake at the same time. Okay,
Yep.
got it. Um, I see what you did. Okay, I see what you did there. That is whack.
Right.
I was about to make myself wild OP and be like, "Oh, you really want to poke the bear and call me whack?" Okay. Um. Damn. Okay. I was about to be like, "Yo, I can control like magma and the Earth's core, and I can destroy the planet, but I just have like an obnoxious personality."
There's that superhero exists. He's called Molten Man, I think.
Is it?
I think that mutants around. Yeah, Molten Man.
You all are deeper in the comic lore than I am, but yeah, that was going to be my thing. But I feel like Jax is just really whack. Like, yo, that is wild.
Connie Alaska says you need to reinforce the planet if that's your power.
You reforest
Re-
the planet.
Reforest.
Reforest?
Connie,
Yeah.
reforesting the planet is positive. This is a whack power.
Like Captain Planet?
Yeah, like Clapton Planet. Yeah, reforest the planet.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen.
I hate to see your browser. Population control.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry for bothering you. If you want to promote your channel, okay.
Nope.
We'll
We're done with that.
You are bothering us, don't
OMG.
Yeah.
All right. Rich needs time to think. Chris, how about you? What do you got?
I will be Chancellor. I am a time traveling guy, but my power is that I can only time travel to time. So if you and I were fighting, Jack, or
You'd be
if I was
fighting
I was fighting anyone, I can travel back in time to when you said something politically incorrect, inappropriate, and I blast it out to the world. So I'm fighting this dude. He's in his car by himself, yells the N-word because he's rapping, and then all of a sudden I make that known to the world, and then you never become a superhero because no one ever wants you on your team because you're canceled and you're blackballed. And then that's it. You disappear from the fight because you never became a superhero.
Wait.
Wait,
Let me clarify. You
work,
think
though?
that calling out the N-word gets you canceled in today's market?
Yeah, I can.
And if you travel back to the 19 or 1800s, would you still have the same power?
Well, that's why my power is mad whack. Let me tell you, it only works in the hypercritical, super.
So it definitely works in today's climate, but probably 50 years ago, it doesn't work so well.
No, 50 years ago, you become more powerful. So I don't know what to tell you. But right now, in today's,
so you're a stalker. So you're up against someone, right? You're about to fight a hero. You're like,
Right.
hold on, wait a minute. You go back in time. You stalk this guy for how long until they say something inappropriate or do
Right.
something inappropriate, and
Right.
then you come back?
No, and then I exposed them at that time. So you say something or you tweet something inappropriate in 2010, and then that person disappears because they were canceled because they
What
never
kind of
became
fights are you having with these people that you just dip out and you come back and you're like,
terribly whack fights. Terribly whack fights.
Is that
Because I'm a time traveler, so it would just be instantaneous to everyone watching. But to me, I'm there tediously watching you, waiting for you to slip
for
up.
years?
For years. For years. For years. It's a terrible whack existence.
like even the idea of this one is whack. That's how whack it is, Chris.
That's the assignment.
And that's
It's
Omega
a
level.
whack
Like I feel
power.
like,
Well, I guess you can time travel anywhere,
He can, but this is how
but
I
only
apply,
where racist and inappropriate
this is
content.
how I apply my
existed.
time travel skills. Is the very specific attack.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If you were to travel to the prehistoric time, what kind of event would you be cataloging?
I'd have to just wait. Who am I fighting from prehistoric time, though?
who knows? What if it's someone from an ancient? Like he got his powers. He was like the first man, right? He was a
But then
caveman.
why would I have to travel to prehistoric time? I could just travel to 5 years.
Maybe
Wait.
they kept their nose clean, or maybe they were frozen for quite some time.
Or I could just
right?
travel to when they get cut off in traffic by an Asian lady, and then
Okay,
They wouldn't know anything
well, I
about
guess
Asian ladies. They would,
so, Rich, you got any ideas at this point?
I that was my idea. I was just going to be an obnoxious person, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, and don't get a big head over this. Jack got this because that power is just
that power is pretty whack.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Like,
give it to Jack. Jack won this one. Jack has
Wow.
the wackest idea today.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the show.
He made his victory lap, and that was it.
Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
man.
So,
Okay.
good times. We had fun with being whack, but should we get to the reason why we're actually here now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. We've been teasing this for a while. We've been watching it with bated breath every Wednesday. But this past Wednesday, we got the finale of X-Men 97, Tolerance is Extinction, Volume 3. And it did not disappoint. Do we want to go through? Jack, how do you want to go about this? Should we talk about the whole series, or do we want to just talk about this specific episode?
Well, let's talk about what ETC said, and then I think let's talk about this episode, but recap the series where it makes sense. Like, obviously, we're gonna have to talk about Wolverine. We're gonna have to talk about Rogue. We're gonna have to talk about Gambit in order to talk about the stuff that happened at the end.
Okay. How about the cast of the View become superheroes, but nothing really changed except they're more
They
useless than they
are.
are right now. That is
Absolutely
whack
useless.
and awesome. You also understood the
Man.
assignment, sir.
And in real time. Okay. Yeah, I just recap. We'll recap stuff where it makes sense. Like, we're gonna obviously have to talk about this poor dude a little bit, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right. So let me give you guys a real quick storyline. On Asteroid M, Bastion prepares to wipe out all of humanity. Charles and Magnus struggle in Magneto's mindscape while the X-Men try to stop Bastion from wiping out humanity and mutant kind and bringing a new species into existence to replace them. So at the end of Tolerance and Extinction Episode 2, we see Professor X tries to take over Magneto. They're fighting. Wolverine stabs Magneto, and then we get Fatal Attractions, where Magneto pulls the adamantium out of Wolverine.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode ends. And then now we're into part 3. Because what happens is that because of all these advanced sentinels that Bastion's using, Magneto essentially released a giant EMP and put us into pretty much a kind of like a nuclear winter, right, Jack? That's what you say?
Yeah. They basically, and that happens the episode before. He basically resets the planet to the Stone Ages.
Right.
Yeah, he just shuts off power.
Right. And then what Professor X says is that if we let things stay like this, then the world's going to destroy itself for everyone, pretty much.
In 12 hours, though. The
12
magnetic,
hours.
the
Which is kind of a
magnetic.
weird timeline. Like, I don't know if that's the kind of how it
Man,
works.
they're playing the
Is it
stakes.
weird? I mean, have you ever been in the blackout? How people lose their minds in the blackout?
Yeah, it's true.
The planet's
Yeah.
losing its mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that happens in the last episode where they divide into blue team and gold team,
which was cool.
which is cool, which is straight out of the comics, and it's it's in the cards and stuff. And they go, half of the team goes to go take care of Bastion, and half the team goes to go take care of Magneto.
So there was a meme that we shared. We shared in the group chat that actually really described
the meme that you shared to the group chat. Let's clarify now.
Yeah,
I like how you try to do that. Like, we're a bunch of dickheads over here.
You don't have to get us canceled today.
So it says, a picture of Magneto and Professor X, and it says the X-Men story of two gays that broke up and made it everyone's problem. So it's just funny because yes, they're best friends, but I don't know. In this episode, it felt like there was a little bit of tension when they were sitting at the bar talking to each other. It felt like it could have been more.
I'm staying off of that one. They were drawn very close.
Yeah,
they did go on record to say that Morph confesses his love to Wolverine in this episode.
Yeah, when he morphed into Jean Grey and said, "I love you."
Yeah,
which is nice. Heavy sighs. All right, come on, man. Let's talk about the content.
All right. So, should you spoiler free, or just jump into it?
Let's get into this thing, man.
Wolverine got ripped apart. What else we spoiling?
We've been talking about it. So we opened up. So we talked about. So where were we? So we opened up with the. We spent a lot of time in the. So we spent a lot of time in the mind of Magneto. So we get a lot of flashbacks of Magneto. So I guess he's a lot of flashbacks from. He's referencing a lot of the Holocaust, and he's talking about when the problem is that he needs to bring Magneto back to reality. If he can't, it'll destroy both their psyches. Which, fingers crossed, we're kind of hoping it happens so we can see Onslaught. But
so what happened was Professor X jumped into Magneto's brain and said, essentially, he paused things and said, "If you don't reverse what happened to the Earth, I'm going to take control of you and I'm going to reverse it." Magneto said, basically, F off, I'm not doing it. And so Charles takes over him, and it's graphic the way they draw it. It's anime-esque, it's violent, it's cool. Professor X basically explodes Magneto's mind, taking over his body, and reverses the polarity damage caused on the Earth. And the subsequent problem with that is it traps Charles into Magneto's mind, and Magneto is lost in his own mind and memories like a buoy in the middle of the ocean. And so Charles is left with a choice. He can either get out of Magneto's mind, but if he does so, Magneto's going to stay a vegetable, or he can risk staying in Magneto's mind with him and try to help him naturally find his own memories again so he can pull himself out of this kind of comatose state, which is what Charles ends up choosing to do. So we do see a lot of flashbacks throughout the series through that episode because they're both trapped in Magneto's mind.
Right. And then, it gets to the point where Magneto, you see him start to come back a little by little, then he realizes, and then, yeah.
Well, it's interesting because so they jump back and forth, right? So in real time, you have Bastion, who turns into like a super Sentinel soldier thing,
like Archangel type.
It's crazy, and he's going to go blow up Asteroid M and basically do to Earth as was done to the dinosaurs with this giant asteroid in space, right? He's going to hurl it down at Earth and let it just blow up the planet,
right?
And so there's this real time restraint on the whole thing. So it jumps back and forth between being in Magneto's mind and the battle with
we're skipping ahead. There was the Cable fighting Jean Grey, right?
Yep.
Right.
And they're on a little beachhead there or whatever, that little lake pond, whatever. Um, and pretty much, Cable gets the one up because Cable's now taken over by Mister Sinister,
Yep.
and he gets the one up on Jean Grey for the time being because he unleashes his full psychic power because he was like,
Right.
oh, remember my mother was a top tier psychic or whatever, right? So he puts her down in the water. Everyone thinks everything's done. All the Sentinels come in with all the remaining X-Men
Yep.
that were in the Blackwing with Forge,
Right.
and we all thought it was all done. But Jean Grey comes up with the power of the Phoenix Force
Yep.
and takes over the situation. Stops Sebastian pretty much, and then also takes Mister Sinister and breaks all the mutant
Yeah.
powers that he's
So Mr.
taken.
Yeah, Mr. Sin's been taking. So Mr. Sin's been around since like the Victorian times. So to keep himself young, he's been taking essence or whatever you call it from mutants. So to keep him young, and once it was taken from him, he became old and decrepit. He's pretty much the villain from Snow White, is what he is.
He's Dorian Gray, right? And
Yeah.
so he had to look at his own portrait.
No, he said I'm
Ah,
ugly and old.
Yeah, because when
It's pretty
after
ridiculous.
she rips the genes from him, he's old, and then he goes to Morph like to show me what I look like, and Morph goes, I forgot what he said exactly.
He basically says, "You look the same to me."
Right,
Yep.
and then
Right.
my man runs away, and that was that. I was like, that was pretty whack on that
That
end.
was a little like I had problems with that too.
But here comes Sebastian back with a vengeance because you're not going to keep me down. Because first of all, they try to. Oh no, Sebastian comes in. He rips off Cable's arm,
That
cybernetic
was
arm,
dope.
and starts beating him with it. And then takes it and takes that
And
cybernetic
absorbs
arm
it.
and absorbs it. And that's
Yeah.
where he gets that new like super
Well,
sentinel.
that needed to happen because in the comics, what had happened was Magneto actually ripped Cable apart too.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So yeah,
So we get that, and then he was like, "Okay, my plans have been stopped, pretty much, been thwarted, but I have one more ace up the sleeve." He goes up to the asteroid to bring it down, actually to interact with the core. I'm not sure
With
if he
core,
was,
yeah.
yeah,
And he was pretty much going to destroy humanity. Which this is the part that kind of didn't make sense to me. So then we get a ton of cameos this episode.
we
So,
get
so
so many cameos.
we get Daredevil, we get Peter Parker, Mary
Silver
Jane,
Samurai.
Iron Man, yeah, the Silver Samurai, Omega
Omega
Red,
Red, yeah.
Cloak and Dagger, Black Panther. Who else do we get?
Psylocke.
Psylocke. Oh, that's right. We got Psylocke. We got
You
um.
get you get Captain America again. You get Tony Stark.
Yep. Yep. So we're getting flashes about how they're dealing with kind of what's going on, right?
Because
Right,
Magneto plunged the entire
Which is
planet
what Rich was
into
talking about,
this.
how people lose their mind when it comes to a blackout. So yeah, so we get flashes of cameos, and so that yeah, so this is where I was getting at. So Bastion wants to bring down asteroid M into the to crash into the Earth. So we
right.
see Tony Stark and Captain America in the war room with President Kelly, and they're like, President Kelly, what are you gonna do? Because we have this file Magneto. We need to do something. So their idea was to shoot down asteroid M, essentially the same thing Bastion was gonna do. I'm like, don't you think there's a better plan than just
But
bringing down a huge asteroid?
it didn't make
I
any
don't.
sense because, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying. I just felt like I understand the plot device to add more suspense to what was going on, but it just seemed like so foolish. Like if the government really, so if the government has a file on Magneto, the government understands that Magneto
But
has
what did they think was going to happen? So
right.
wait, so this is what Chris is getting at. So the president has a Magneto protocol book he pulls out, and the play is let's hit the asteroid with nuclear warheads, like
Hmm.
6 of them, and nobody had run the math on it to go. This thing's gonna fall right back.
What was that movie with
Wait,
Bruce Willis?
those were
Yeah,
nukes because
yeah.
they didn't explode like
Yeah.
nukes. They like it
No.
seemed like they was very low yielding nukes if that's what they were.
What was the name of the movie
Whatever.
with Bruce?
They're hitting
What
it
was the
with
name what was the name of the movie with Bruce Willis?
Armageddon, only the
Yeah.
best movie ever made.
No one in this show has seen Armageddon. Oh wait, it's
Right.
97. Has it come out yet? But the
That's
moment.
funny. That's hysterical. ETC says that moment Morph and Wolverine felt a little awkward with Jane Franco Lewis tells the truth feelings. Well, it was a little awkward. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So I read it. I look. I understood what
But
they
it
were
kind of
saying.
went that moment kind of went both ways because he was doing it for Wolverine as Jean Grey, but internet is saying he's also doing it for himself.
No,
I mean,
I
because
chose to
also
read it.
they said that Morph now is non-binary and all that stuff. So
It makes
I mean,
sense to me.
okay. I'm gonna tell you, in non-binary, it makes sense for Morph because he's Morph. It makes a
Right.
lot of sense for to have him be like an asexual being with no gender because he's Morph.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
now this brings up other questions like how many times have he morphed into like a girl and
Well, we see him more.
had relations with a dude that didn't know that he was the morph?
But when he morphs, he's actually a girl, so it's not really like
That's right. He's
a gray area, is it?
well, his consciousness doesn't change, or their consciousness doesn't change.
You're going to jail.
So anyway, back to what were we talking about? So anyway, yeah, maybe they're not nuclear warheads, but they're definitely missiles. They shoot down Magneto's thing, not thinking that it's going to fall back on Earth. So essentially, they do exactly what Bastions set out to do, which is hurl this giant
that's miles across
at Earth. Yeah,
at Earth. Good idea, Captain President Kelly. So with that, Bastion is still around. He's still fighting, and then the MVP of this show.
Oh my god, man!
Freaking! So I was reading, and they actually rank Rogue as extremely powerful. So I think because essentially she has the powers of Captain Marvel, the strength and the flight of Captain Marvel, and we see that in the first series. There's a flashback of how she gets her powers. So I think she was just dumbed down a lot in the original series as just, oh, I'm just flying and I can throw a car.
Dude, man, they fully embrace Rogue's power set, and she is spectacular. Is the word of the day. She is spectacular, man, and the way she fights, the way it's drawn, man, she's so cool. I mean, Rogue is so cool in this.
So cool. So I guess they end up on the moon, right? So they
and you know what? You know what else is so great? This goes back to this thing that keeps coming up with our conversations about female heroes, right? It's like she throws the gauntlet down so hard. They don't make Bastion weak at all. No. And when he stands back up and puts himself back together, we're sitting here going, geez, man, we just saw Superman take down Doomsday in that sequence. Yep. And Doomsday just stood back up. What's he going to do? And that's how it felt like watching Rogue. Rogue laid down the biggest ass whooping that we've seen in animated X-Men history. And the villain took it, put himself back together, stood up, and looked at her square. And I'm sitting here actually worried for Rogue.
And, we talk, it's funny too, because we talk about how, we talk a lot about inclusion and how when inclusion's done right, it's fantastic. And when it's forced down our throats, it almost takes you out of the story. Yeah. This story, Rogue is so awesome and so like deep, and you feel her pain. Like we felt her pain since episode 5. We felt her dealing with the loss of Gambit and kind of funneling that anger in the right direction. And I feel like the feelings of her being so awesome was well deserved. It wasn't because she's a woman. It's because she's awesome and she also happens to be a woman.
They just let her shine. You know
That
what's funny about this series in retrospect is Gambit is so cool. Cyclops has profound moments of damn, Gina.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler, holy hell, man! Nightcrawler has never been depicted so perfectly.
No, he was dope.
Rogue,
And one thing that we didn't talk about, that fight with him and Wolverine, or
Oh,
with
when
him and Wolverine
Wolverine
together.
stabs a dude, and then you see from Wolverine's point of view as
when he
what the
pulls him,
teleportation looks like.
Bro.
dude, just
Come on,
sick.
man. Come on.
The only character who kind of isn't highlighted in this series, ironically, is Wolverine.
I'm okay with that because I feel like
We know him.
we know him. He shined so much in the first series. After this, there was a subsequent X-Men series called Wolverine and the X-Men. You know, I feel like we can have
Yeah.
Wolverine can take a step back and we can let
The only reason it stands out is what the series does really well is they highlight the characters. Like Gambit is so well highlighted right before what happens to him happens.
Mm.
Wolverine
Yep.
didn't have that. So when Wolverine got literally torn apart, we weren't anchored to his character based off of this series alone.
right. And then you figure the two where it's a time for other people to shine. Remember Batman Beyond? To go tired, go awkward, and that was actually a really good episode, etc. But yeah, but to be fair though, he it was always Talia's body, just Ra's al Ghul's mind and Talia. What didn't make sense why the voice changed after they kissed, but
Man.
look, we're not nitpicking Batman Beyond right now. That will come later.
So
But
Rogue throws
yeah,
down,
so Rogue. So
and
we
then what's
see
cool again is we get Nightcrawler shows up.
right, Nightcrawler shows up, but we see in the battle there's Apocalypse's temple in the
On the
background
moon.
as they're fighting.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. So so it made you think: is he gonna show up now, or is he gonna show up later? Like,
Because then they took care of him already.
At this point, right?
Yeah.
So it's discarded.
Yeah. So okay, so then we see so Cyclops and Jean. So then Beast comes through. So the asteroid is coming down. Beast, they're trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to tell everyone get off the asteroid. They're trying to figure out what to do. And then Beast is like, look, we can do something, but we all have to play our parts.
Right.
So we have a way to save the world. We have to play our parts. And then this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to try and get this asteroid back into orbit, essentially. We see Cable sitting in a diner, kind of licking his wounds, and telepathically
his mom and his dad sit down with him.
Exactly, and have that moment. We're proud of you. We love you, and then at one point, Cyclops takes off his visor. You see Jean touch Cyclops, I guess, to suppress his power. He's like, you have his eyes, and then they're like, we're gonna, this may be our last.
I'll tell you what didn't make sense about that moment, though. I mean, I get it, the sentiment of it. They're a projected mental image sitting in the chair. They're not actually there. So for him to take his visors off and her to suppress his powers wasn't actually necessary because he wasn't actually there to take his visors off.
Right.
You know what I mean? They weren't sitting there. It was their mental, it was like the Matrix. Their mental projected self was sitting there. So he could have just taken his visors off. But I'll tell you what's cool. When they eventually leave Cable, they have that nice little heartfelt, loving moment with Cable. When they eventually go back and Cyclops is like, let's do this thing. He takes his visors off.
Yeah.
And he's crying. You see, like tears actually just he's crying as he's blasting the.
He did a Marvel vs. Capcom blast,
dude.
All over the place.
All over the place. Pause.
Awesome, and then we have Rogue makes a comment about it's in the cards. A comment like Remy made, and how they're
Yeah,
going to make it. And then, so they're struggling to keep this asteroid in orbit
that's right.
um,
As it's coming down at this
as it's
point.
coming down. And then Cyclops is trying to appeal to Bastion's humanity, tell him, look,
So they basically get Bastion in a compromised position where they could
right,
take a killing stroke, and they
right.
decide. Cyclops tells the rest of the X-Men in that moment, "Wait, stop, stand down," and he tries to appeal to Bastion, and Bastion basically tells him,
What are you doing?
"What are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you remember? This dude killed your boy. He killed your supreme boy, and you're like, nah, we tried to make you part of the team, but come on, Cyclops. I mean, that part I was like,
Heroes got a hero.
I guess, but
Superman got to make the right choice, even though it's the hard choice.
is it the right choice though? This guy is hell bent on destroying humanity, and you're trying to tell him, well,
He got to
have you
go.
have you thought about being a good guy?
He got to go.
What's odd about that scene is Genosha happened. We're
Right.
talking about
He's a mass
tens of
murderer.
tens of thousands of mutants and humans he's killed. And
It's like
so
you see
it's
Osama bin Laden. It's like, hey, have you thought about, not blowing stuff up? Have you thought
right.
about being cool?
Yeah,
Like,
but totally after the fact too, which
right.
is yeah.
Exactly.
And Bastion basically says, "You're nuts, man. Let's not be friends." Essentially, right?
Right.
And then what's crazy about it is at that point, uh, Magneto wakes up. Well, so we're flashing back and forth between Magneto and the real timeline, right? And so at this point in Magneto's brain, Magneto recognizes Charles, recognizes that Charles lying to him.
Right.
Like, well, man, why are you lying to me? In my own brain, you're lying to me. Charles is like, hey, it's not like that. Magneto wakes up and he's angry. Also, for the record, the X-Men's plan to stop the asteroid failed.
Yeah.
Mm,
Like failed hardcore. And
yeah.
so Magneto wakes up, he re-grabs his asteroid, brings it back into space
I guess put
as
it back in orbit.
he takes it back to orbit as and then you cut to the cameos where all the other different Marvel characters and figures and X-Men figures are watching the asteroid in bated breath like, oh good, we're not going to end all of civilization as we know it. And then it explodes into a ball of fairy dust and everything disappears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then we look, and then we get a flash forwards to Bishop comes back,
Bishop
and
comes back. So basically what happens is you then we jump 6 months later.
yep.
And Forge is working by himself, and he's got a huge chart on his back wall of all the missing X-Men.
He got
And
all the status of the X-Men. He got presumed missing for the ones that were in the asteroid, and a few others as well.
Right.
The ones that are off world, and then you got some others that have nothing on their names.
right,
So assuming that he knows what they are.
Right. So Bishop comes back. They're talking about it, and then we see some of the X-Men went to the
Well,
past.
my thing is this: with that, like Forge seemed like Bishop was like a bad guy. Like he's
Well,
almost like
yeah,
he
I
didn't
guess they had.
recognize.
Yeah, I don't know exactly there. I remember in the first, I thought Forge and Bishop worked together.
That's what I thought too.
I don't know why when Bishop showed up, Forge was like,
He drew down on him. He pulled out. He was like, what you doing here?"
well,
yeah,
I wonder if some of that is actually translation because this story arc they're doing is actually based off of the comics where the X-Men went missing, but they were scattered over the planet, right? And what happened in the comics was Banshee and Forge teamed up to go find the scattered X-Men over the planet. And so what they're doing is instead of Banshee, they're putting Bishop in the role. Instead of over the planet, they're searching over time.
right,
They're gonna span time because Bishop's a time traveler to go search for the missing X-Men who have been displaced. So they're
right,
kind of
Right.
using that as their template, but they're doing their own thing with it.
But it still didn't. It still doesn't answer the question why he had so much animosity towards
I
Bishop.
I just I so I thought about that too, and I read it as think he it's not Bishop.
But
I
then
think
he instantly dropped it, which
yeah,
was
I
equally
think it's
awesome.
just misplaced. Ray, he just started. He just bagged Storm, and he lost her. So now he's dealing with that loss. Forge fell in love in a week, and now he lost the love of his life. The love of his life.
So you draw down on one of your teammates? Like what? My man comes up like he's like, I'm here to help. It's like, nah, son. I just
Nah,
lost the love of my life. I
that's
need to
It
shoot
exactly.
could,
somebody.
it could
That's
also
exactly.
been insecurity. I mean, Bishop's a strapping man walked in there.
Weren't they
Yeah,
together? Bishop and Forge were together, right? In the comics, I know,
that
right?
was a boy. They were boys.
I'm not Bishop. That Bishop and Storm. Excuse me. Bishop and Storm were together
I don't
Really?
know about that one.
in the comics, weren't they? I could have sworn. Or in the
Uh,
animated?
I
No.
know
No,
Wolverine had a thing with Storm in the
I was
opening.
Wolverine had a thing with Storm. Recently, it's T'Challa's got a thing with Storm.
I mean, that makes sense. Or
Hmm.
uh,
Okay.
the I remember in Days of Future Past, in that when you see Wolverine and Storm in a bar, and people have problems because Wolverine's white and Storm is black, and Storm was like, "Wait, you guys are racist because of skin color? That's almost quaint. Like this is how backwoods you guys are." Like, and I just remember being a kid watching that scene and being like, "This show's fantastic." Like,
Yeah.
so. So we see that. So then, okay. So then we get I don't see a flashback, but then we travel back in time, and then we see pretty much ancient Egypt, right?
Right.
So we see Cyclops. Who was there?
No,
It
no, no,
was
no. So
Cy-
it actually goes forward in time first. Cyclops and Jean are in the future,
it's the
Right.
year 3000 something,
right? And they run into a young Nathan.
right? With
Hmm.
they run into like my name is Mother Ascari or something like that, and
Yeah.
then we see Nathan. That's where Nathan was sent by Bishop to get healed from the virus from Sinister.
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that is actually straight out of the comics too. That was Cyclops and Phoenix comic that dropped, I believe, in the 90s, and they did travel to the future where they interacted with Nathan, right? So they're taking that out of the comics too, and then they traveled to the past where we get Apocalypse.
Right, where we see that everyone shows up, they save this guy, and then he pulls down his mask, and we see the apocalypse, like the line, the
Blue.
markings. He's like, "My name is N Bien Sir, whatever his name is,
Right.
his real name," and then
Beast
he says,
says,
"Oh dear."
"Oh, oh dear." Right. And so that's actually pulled right out of the comics too. That's the Apocalypse origin story where we got his backstory. So it
Okay.
looks like so I think that's kind of what's going to happen in season 2. We're going to
Wait,
get those.
time out. Did you guys see the mid-credit scene?
No.
I say what?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's a mid-credit scene, fellas.
What
Oh,
was it?
spoil it! Spoil it!
So it's Apocalypse going through the rubble of Genosha, and then he picks up a card, and he's like,
Oh, right.
"This is death," and he squeezes it, it turns to dust, which leads us to believe
Getting
that
the
we thought
horseman.
Gambit was coming back through time travel. Gambit's coming back from the four horsemen of Apocalypse, and he's going to be Apocalypse's death horseman.
Yeah,
Oh. Okay.
I did remember to say. Oh, speaking of Gambit, I meant to say this last week. My sister brought up this point because the week before, the whole internet's been gigging on Rogue and Gambit, right? Like, why don't you wear the repressive collars so you can touch each other? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So in the comics, and she set the story clear for me. In the comics, they actually did try all that stuff. And the problem with the collars is they make you incredibly nauseous. They have lasting effects. You get like terrible migraines. They're really uncomfortable. And so Rogue and Gambit apparently had gone through so many different things to try to be able to make contact up to that point. So kind of like Wolverine, the content is relying on certain elements for the viewers to kind of have known or just fill in the gap or don't stress it.
Can I ask an R-rated question?
Oh boy, if you
Might
can
What
give
if
you
ask
an
it.
X-rated answer.
what if Gambit just wore a condom?
Like a full body condom?
No, just the condom, and that's it.
So just wear a they keep their clothes on and just a condom.
Kind of, just slide it to the side and just get it going.
Um, well,
Condoms don't cover. Listen, man, it's like hey, you can't catch herpes, but you actually can with a condom on, sir.
I mean,
It's pretty much the
look,
same idea.
you could never catch an STD if you never get tested.
I
That's
think the problem is they're trying to make a
Wow, wow, wow,
they're
wow,
trying to make a
wow.
connection beyond just,
beyond, I
like
guess. Yeah.
holding hands or kissing or something simpler. Now, if they were able to do that, maybe they would try some of the other stuff. Maybe they have tried it. Now, I'll also say this: in the comics today, they are able to touch each other.
Huh. Interesting.
Talk about like ruining the
The whole like, the
tension.
whole Sam and Diane, will they or won't they aspect of it.
CTC wants to know what's the theme of this episode today. Right. Yeah. Right.
Full body condoms? I don't know.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so yeah. So I think those are the three arcs we're gonna get playing out. We're gonna get Bishop and Forge traveling through time to assemble the displaced X-Men. Um we're gonna get the Apocalypse storyline in the past. Obviously, the post credits telling us that there's a present time playing out, which is nice because we just got introduced to all these freaking Marvel characters, not just X-Men. That this X-Men series is saying, hey, listen, Marvel's one world, and we'll put in anybody it makes sense to put him in, however it makes sense to
Except
use.
Deadpool's off limits. I read a thing where it said Deadpool's off limits as a cameo,
No,
embargoed.
that's a
Ah,
shame.
ah, that's all right. But we got Peter Parker, man. We see
We
Peter
did.
Parker in this
So
thing.
let me ask you guys a question. Now that we're
Out of,
finished with the
out
series,
of suit, but we know who he is.
yeah,
Yeah, that was wild. I was like, wait a minute. Shouldn't you be around town help? Like you saw Daredevil out there, knocking heads together. Like, shouldn't you be helping the town out? Or maybe he was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend the last bit of time with Mary
Right.
Jane.
yeah. Let me ask you guys this. So this has been 30 years since we had X-Men, right? So we had a season of X-Men. That's 30 years of content. That's X-Men. There's been a lot of storylines with X-Men. Power Control Bob. I think this was always Rogue's power, and I think she was. We were saying like I think she was just really really watered down in the original series.
Well, what she's saying is that Rogue's power evolves where she has the ability to control it, and
Oh, okay, okay.
that's why they're able to touch now.
I dig that. Okay,
Um.
bit of a
Well,
you never
okay,
know.
and they do, man. That Howard the Duck movie goes deep.
It does. But let me ask you. So here's my question: Is that so? We saw stuff from Asteroid M. We saw. I thought they were going to bring in Onslaught, but they didn't. We saw
Right.
a bunch of different storylines. Do you think they packed too many storylines into this season? I understand
No,
that we're catching up. I understand we're doing all this stuff. I understand there's been 30 years of content, but do we have to do all 30 years of content in one shot?
my only thing is I felt like the content was rich and dense enough where I didn't need filler episode segments. Like
Right.
I like the
Mojo.
Jubilee. I like the Jubilee idea of that thing, but that was 20 minutes of a 30-minute cartoon where the at that point we just we're going we're in the content.
Right.
The Aurora stuff where she loses her power set, gets a new power set just to get the black costume. I mean, if I'm being honest, I dug all the Storm content, but the main arc of this was so compelling with Gambit going down, Genosha going down,
Yep.
Wolverine getting torn apart, Magneto blacking out the world, the Bastion storyline. That stuff was so rich. I would have been fine just kind of sitting in more development of that storyline and let it just ride, man.
Yeah, I get that. I would too. I would too. I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. I would have liked to spend more time with Magneto trying to do the right thing. in the
Right.
beginning before we jumped into the Genosha massacre. I would like to spend more time with I, I would have taken a filler episode of Magneto calling the shots with the X Men, and how they deal with Magneto as a leader
Team
versus
leader.
having like that standalone Jubilee
That's such a
episode.
great point because we never actually see that. Connie Alaska wants a Spider-Man 97 cartoon, and ETC fully agrees. They could also do Iron Man, Hulk, and Fantastic Four.
Well, wait till my recommendations.
No, I agree. I agree with that, Chris, because if we had seen if we had seen Magneto lead the team and maybe do an okay job, but compromise the integrity of the morality of the team,
Right.
then it sets up the team to have some of that conflict, especially when Charles gets back and Scott's like, how could you have possibly given Magneto the slot? And when we're looking at Magneto, we're like, he actually kind of rose to the occasion in
He
the
did.
content we saw,
He did.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that's a great point, you know? And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I could have used the A plot being just flushed out, and I didn't need the C and D
Yeah.
and
And if you want to do something to give some depth to Jubilee, and which Jubilee was awesome in this, like when he's like, "What are you gonna do? Hit me with the 4th of July?" and Jubilee like kind of rises to the occasion. You could have done that whole. First of all, I never liked the Mojo World stuff,
well,
but
I was in the Mojo world. Jubilee evolved her power set, and then she
did.
never used it. So why didn't she use the new power she
Right, where
learned?
she can actually like almost skate, kind of like Static Shockish,
Like,
right?
what
Like,
the hell, man? If you're gonna have that episode, why doesn't it pay out in the
right,
finale?
right,
Too much
right.
filler episodes and not enough episodes to have filler episodes in. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with that. Yeah, when you have 9, 10 episodes, you don't have enough. You can't dedicate. Kanye, I'm kind of with you. I not that they cram too much, but uh, we couldn't squander an episode on Mojo, and I think I almost feel like they second guessed that because they made that's the only episode that's like
It was a
half and
half
half.
episode.
It was like an episode of Rugrats where like the first episode was one thing, the second episode was a completely different storyline.
Yeah, and it was coming right out of a really strong episode.
It was.
yeah,
It was.
Yeah. So that was yeah, I would say that was kind of like a
Yeah.
meh choice.
So.
But great content, and I'm excited for season 2.
Yep.
And
I think
the funny thing about season 2 is I think most of it's already scripted and
I think so. So here's a concern. So with Bruce DeMayo being out as writer and showrunner, do we think
for
we're gonna
the
lose?
third though. He's out for the third season, which leads me to believe that the second season is well underway at this point.
I hope so. But do you think we're gonna lose some of the magic with him being gone?
Not necessarily. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, I'm not sure how to. I don't know because there were good things and kind of bad things about this thing. Like
Yeah.
the fact that they're taking the content to where they're taking it. They're letting the action be really action packed. They're really giving characters their moments to shine. They're not relying solely on like Wolverine,
Right.
and neither did the original series. It was well rounded.
Yeah.
So if they do that and they kind of streamline the essence, then they should be fine. But I think what's hard about moving into the second season is they've set up just how complicated their story arc is going to be.
Yeah.
They got these guys in the future, they got these guys in the past, they got this guy in the present day, and then they got these guys time traveling through time. And you're like, that's a lot you guys have put on season 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
See how it pans out.
So let's rate this. We've watched all the episodes. The series is over. Now's the time to put your money where your mouth is, and let's give it a rating.
9.5.
9.5? Fair.
I
Right?
think 9.95. My only qualm with it is it is kid content, but then it's graphic. It's adult content, so it's a little confused. The content is a little confused,
I
but
you, you know I don't think I wasn't confused by the tone because I feel like this is content for us.
Yeah,
So it's grown up as we have grown up. So it's still kind of kid content, but it's matured and grown.
dude.
So
Cyclops has never been so cool.
never.
Gambit has never been so flushed out. Rogue has never had so much light. Storm has it is a god. I
Yes.
mean, they took the characters and they've given them so much shine, and the story's good. The story could be better. The episodes could be more concise. I'm gonna give it a 9, a solid
Okay.
9.
Okay. Rich?
Okay, I'm giving it a 7. I didn't need the
7?
filler. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.
All
He's
right.
giving it all 7.
I'm giving it a 7. I didn't need the filler episodes. I honestly didn't need the filler episode with Storm and how she got her powers back because to me it just didn't make sense with the whole Oogie Boogie monster or whatever the hell he was.
It's kind of
Um,
yeah, you're kind of true on that one.
yeah,
Can't,
we didn't need
can't
that.
argue it.
They could have did the whole thing with Forge and maybe did something with technology because since technology took her powers away, or even if it was a psychological thing, maybe throw Jean Grey or maybe another psychic
Yeah,
mutant in the mix to kind of get that mental block from her, and then we had her powers back. And then Jubilee again, we had 10 episodes. You don't have enough to put in filler.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
agree.
like it's not like an anime where you got like 25 episodes in a season, and you could throw
Yeah.
like 5, 10, even 10 episodes of filler. You just don't have enough for it. So they should have just got it all out there. So 7, it was good. I enjoyed it. What I did enjoy, I enjoyed, but the filler stuff kind of they could have added more into it.
Yeah, this is I haven't been excited for a series like this in a long time. I loved we had those weeks where it was X-Men Wednesday and Invincible Thursday, and that was some of the best TV weeks that I've had in years. So
Hmm.
I give this a 10. I will
10.
I I preach this series
10?
to anyone who will listen. Yes.
I mean, I get that you like it, but 10?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I rewatched episode 5 multiple times. I rewatched, was it episode 7 where Rogue drops what's his face off the cliff and Wolverine's like good, and that's when he first turns into
Nah, but
himself.
that was one of those moments that didn't land because when Rogue dropped the dude off the cliff, the rest of the X-Men were sitting in the background judging her when any
Yeah,
one of them could have just caught him.
they could have.
Wolverine was
That
like
was a
good.
moment that did not make sense.
Not Wolverine was like good. It
Well,
had to
that's
be done.
Wolverine. Wolverine will cut everyone in half if you
Wolverine's
wanted
like
to.
he killed our boy.
That's
He killed our
Wolverine. That's
boy.
one guy. The rest of them are actually like.
But
Not saying
still,
Wolverine's
he
not a
killed our
hero.
boy. Let that dude
You're
die.
not saying that everyone else is not a hero, but Wolverine is like almost like an anti-hero. He will absolutely shed blood and rip everyone in half for what he thinks
He
is right.
will, but I
But
feel
everyone else that wants kind of peace, they're like, nah, that's not good. But they also let it happen, as Jack said, because there was plenty of them that could have swooped in
No, it
and
made no
saved
sense.
them.
It was almost
Yeah.
like you know what needed to happen. Someone said, was it who said it? Someone actually fixed that moment. Oh, I think it was Lawrence. I was talking to Lawrence about it, and he said what needed to happen was exactly what happened, except for then Rogue turns around and says something along the lines of, "I didn't see any of you stop it or catch him" or something like that, and then
that's true.
and then Cyclops has to like look down with shame because that's the truth.
Mm,
They all let him drop. They
yeah.
were
They
all
all wanted him to drop. They all
right
wanted the
now.
dude to drop.
If they had moments like that implanted, I would say probably 10 out of 10. But 10. All right. So listen, Chris gave it a 10. Rich gave it a 7. I gave it a 9, which is really
Yeah.
high. So collectively, we've given it 8.6. So let's say 8.5. I'm around down 8.5, which I think is pretty damn fair.
I mean the internet gave it let me see. I had IMDb open right now. Where there so IMDb where the series is sitting is
Come on, Chris.
9.5.
Even Mary Poppins said she
Practically
was practically perfect in every
everywhere.
way. she wasn't perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all right. Then I will drop my rating to a 9.5.
No, stand on business. All right, stand on business. Keep it at a 10.
I'm really keeping it
The
on.
series had issues, but it was literally the best X Men content in years. I
It,
think it's probably just
it's
the best X Men content.
it's literally the best Marvel content in years.
Yeah.
Too bad people weren't
Uh,
watching it.
yep. Perfect
But
modification.
but I think that's misleading, Rich, because I think
We're struggling.
Mandalorian season one got 2.8% of the total Disney Plus viewership, where this is at 6 point something percent. So it could
Listen,
be
this content hits. It's good. We're debating about decimal points. Fact of the matter is, Chris loved it. Rich enjoyed it. He's coming back next season, and so am I. And if Lawrence were here today, he'd be saying the same things. I would bet Lawrence is giving it an 8, easy
let me
8.
text him real quick, see if he responds.
We need. All right. Well, how about recommendation? I'll text them. You recommendations.
Okay, so you text Lawrence. Text him something mildly racist, also, Jack. Please.
No, I leave that for Jason.
Because usually all the texts to my family members are like, "Put the fried chicken down and answer this." I know it's hard for you to text when your fingers so greasy from the fried chicken grease.
I'll just call him and see if he answers. See if
Okay,
he's able to answer.
fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So while Jack calls my cousin and our friend Lawrence, let's hear my recommendations. My recommendations are pretty straightforward. What can we take and what can we use? What could use the same treatment? I got 6 on here, and I'm not gonna lie, most of them are decent.
I got 5 on it.
Oh, Looney's reference. Number 6, Real Ghostbusters. I love the Real Ghostbusters.
Any chance Chris has to mention Real
I
Ghostbusters?
love.
It's like me and Berserk. I'm gonna
Yeah,
mention it. If I
Real
can, I'll
Ghostbusters.
mention it.
Pick up where you left off. That's it. Leave the original 4. Pick up at we could have Real Ghostbusters 92 or something like that. Great. 2,
Okay.
what Kanye Alaska, etc. said, Spider-Man. I don't care about Amazing Spider-Man. I don't care about the Disney Plus series. I want the Spider-Man series from Fox Kids on the 90s continued. So,
Okay.
fantastic. Number 4, this was for you, Rich. Gargoyles.
All right.
Gargoyles was fresh. It was new. It was a different idea than what we've seen. It looked like Batman the Animated Series because I think they use a lot of the same studios. Young Robin Hood, maybe.
ETC gonna mention Young Robin Hood every chance he
It's
gets.
true. It's true. And then my top 3 are all Bruce, Tim, and Paul Dini stuff. Justice League, pick it up. Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, take your pick. I don't care. Batman Beyond. I know you guys are mad on it. I love Batman Beyond. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous, ETC. And then my number 1 is gonna be obviously Batman the Animated Series. Not New Adventures of Batman. Not New Adventures of Batman.
Why not?
Batman the Animated Series.
Didn't we do this exact same recommendation a month ago?
I don't
Probably.
remember, Jack. Jack, I don't remember what happened last week, bro.
You know what it was? It was a debate. It was a debate. It was like 2 months ago we had a debate and we're like, what series from the 90s would we bring back to give the same X-Men treatment to? And it was this exact list. And ETC said the same things, and you said the same things, and I said the same things, and it's always going to be the same things because they're the right things.
At least we're consistent, all of us.
That's right. And Connie Alaska said the same things.
There you go. Thank you, Connie Alaska.
Things. All right.
All right. That's it. That's all we got. Hold on.
Oh, that was recommendations.
That was recommendations. Hold
That
on
was
one second.
recommendations.
Sebastian! You want to show something? Okay, go. Quick. Now's the time. He's up. School's out. So he's
Sebastian.
not going to bed anytime soon.
Where'd this thing go?
So yeah,
What's he got?
I
Let's
don't
look at that.
know. I
Let's look
think
at that.
I think I caught him by surprise. I've been out the game for so long. I think he forgot the protocol. Oh, here he is.
You better brush him up.
So today,
Yeah.
I have new guns.
You have
That's
no
okay.
guns.
New guns.
New guns.
You guys
No
have
guns.
New guns.
New. Up to he's shaking his head while saying new. I was confused.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's jump into it right now.
Okay, let's do that.
New.
We got this Spaz 12 shotgun.
Spaz 12. All right.
I put a scope on it, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Oh wow, you're flagging your dad, but all right, cool.
Oh,
Check,
yeah.
check. Bullets checked.
It has actually has buckshot that comes with it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And check out how this thing works. This thing is this loaded?
With it shoots the gel things, or
No, it shoots a dart. But look, so if I watch out, Mashi.
Yeah.
If I were to shoot it, right, and then I
Yeah.
go like that, it ejects it. It ejects the shell. It's all about shell. It's all about shell ejection nowadays.
That's what I
Yeah.
say.
And now that's what the bullet looks like when it hit the target.
But
Dart,
here's the thing.
dart.
Here's the thing that that's a little that we have to be careful with these things. This is a 1-to-1 scale. This is almost the same size as my Mossberg.
Hmm.
If it's not 1-to-1, it's like 1 to 0.75, like, or 1 to 1.8. It is like, you look at it like I'm a grown man. This is pretty much the size of my Mossberg. This is
How much did that cost?
What
This is
Chinese
like-
company did you get that from?
40. Yeah, Rich.
And even
Like, let's be for real.
let me
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's a pretty good little film prop for like a future thing. Nerf weapons make really good film future weapons.
He won't play with Nerf weapons because he likes the shell ejection. So he likes the real.
It's a
realism.
Nerf dart.
This is how you load it. So first, like a real one,
Oh.
put that down, then load it from
That's one way.
the bullet
Can you
right
can you
there.
ghost load it?
Yeah, and you can load.
Oh,
No,
boy.
load it properly. Load it
Yeah,
properly.
you got to load it properly there, buddy. You gotta get it from underneath there.
Oh, he wants to put one in the hole.
Oh, okay.
Ayo.
Now you got to put the rest in the tube. There you go.
And it functions like it's like my Mossberg, man.
You said that 4 times now, Chris.
I know, but like
Listen
I play
to
with it
that.
and I touch it and it's like it's
Listen to
damn
that.
cool.
Listen to that satisfying noise.
Yeah.
Satisfying noise.
That's satisfying, yeah.
Also, the other one is better than the rest of my handguns. Better than all of
Oh,
them. Can I show
okay.
you it?
Yeah.
You can get arrested just by looking at it. If you put your thumb right on the orange part.
Good, show it.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh wow.
That looks a little maybe a little too real.
Yeah, I'm assuming that doesn't leave the house.
No, it does.
None of it should leave the house, honestly.
All my
Yeah. Oh yeah.
guns don't leave the house.
Look at that.
Okay.
And guess what? I figured out. Can't empty out the mag. Still same things.
Does it lock back when you empty the mag?
Too.
What happened, Rich?
Does it lock back when you empty the mag?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh boy.
So,
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Are you wearing a Star Wars shirt?
Nope.
Nope. Sonic.
Nice.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I like
Alright.
the gun hug.
If you think you have a play fight with me, don't you think I'll do it?
All right. Let's close up this episode. We want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for participating. Like, subscribe, do all the damn things. If you liked it, tell your friends. If you didn't like it, tell me watch a different YouTube channel. All right.
But-
we don't need that negativity in our life.
But if if you give a thumbs down.
No, we will
No,
not. We will
we're
not.
not.
No, we
Okay,
will
all
not cheat. We will not cheat.
right. Okay.
And
Sketch
All
y'all
right.
later.
All right. Tell them. All right. We'll see you guys. Same
Back time.